I learned to love my inner methane maker, though I won't lie, it wasn't easy. For years, I ignored the subtle signals, dismissed the rumblings and gurgles, and treated bloating and gas as inconvenient side effects of life. But my gut was trying to communicate, and the message was relentless, unapologetic, and utterly humiliating. More energy, less dignity. Every fiber-rich meal I thought was virtuous. Every bean or lentil I consumed in the name of health. Every overnight oats breakfast and kale salad was transformed by a microscopic workforce that operated with astonishing efficiency, extracting calories, producing methane, and slowing transit like a biochemical boardroom meeting that I wasn't invited to. I was the human host, but the gas whisperer inside me was clearly running the show. Learning to listen to this internal voice wasn't about becoming comfortable with discomfort. It was about recognizing the brutal efficiency of my gut and the subtle sabotage that happens with every bite. Fiber, resistant starches, legumes, cruciferous vegetables, foods marketed as healthful, virtuous, low-calorie, and beneficial, are the raw materials for a microbial economy designed for profit, gas, and metabolic advantage. My attempts at discipline, caloric restriction, and clean eating were constantly outmaneuvered by methanogens and fermenters that harvested every morsel with precision. Calories that should have passed through or contributed to weight loss were quietly reclaimed, short-chain fatty acids were produced, transit slowed, and gas accumulated in both predictable and unpredictable ways. The physiological consequences are stark. Chronic methane production slows gut motility, prolongs fermentation, increases bloating, and subtly amplifies calorie absorption. Meals intended to nourish or aid in weight control can become exercises in discomfort, unpredictability, and humiliation. A perfectly planned, low-calorie lunch can result in hours of distension and gas that seems to mock every ounce of human discipline. My metabolism, which I assumed I could control through effort and planning, is partly an outsourced system managed by microscopic operators whose priorities are efficiency, survival, and gas production, not human comfort or vanity. The psychological and social consequences are equally relentless. Social gatherings, work meetings, or intimate dinners become strategic exercises in timing, positioning, and risk management. I quickly learned to anticipate the consequences of high-fiber meals, navigating conversations and public spaces with a careful awareness of the invisible, rumbling workforce inside me. A salad at lunch can become a high-stakes negotiation. How long before methane is released? How much transit slowdown will occur? Will my dignity survive this? Even small meals carry hidden risks, and the stress of anticipation compounds the frustration, anxiety, and embarrassment. Attempts to intervene, low FODMAP diets, probiotics, digestive enzymes, intermittent fasting, fiber timing, offer only temporary relief. Methanogens are resilient, adaptive, and remarkably efficient. They survive antibiotics, rebound after dietary changes, and adjust to new internal conditions with ruthless precision. The more I tried to impose control, the more cunningly the microbes adapted. Every diet plan, restriction, or healthy choice became an opportunity for microbial exploitation, producing energy, gas, and internal pressure while leaving me bloated, fatigued, and questioning the fairness of my biology. Discipline is not always rewarded. Sometimes it is co-opted into microbial profit. There is a cruel irony in this internal lesson. The foods celebrated as virtuous often do the most damage. Leafy greens, legumes, cruciferous vegetables, resistant starches, all the staples of clean eating, are essentially currency for methanogens and fermenters. Every bite I take to be disciplined and healthy is simultaneously fueling an internal operation designed to reclaim calories and produce gas with ruthless efficiency. Fiber is supposed to help me feel full and energized, but in my gut, it becomes a tool for metabolic sabotage. The healthier I try to eat, the more powerful the microbial whispers inside me become, and the more unpredictable the consequences. Learning to love this internal methane maker is not about denial, it's about acknowledgement. My gut is relentless, adaptive, and efficient. It doesn't care about intentions, calorie counts, or social conventions. It operates with an agenda entirely its own, quietly reclaiming energy, slowing transit, producing gas, and undermining the human host's plans for comfort, discipline, or weight control. Accepting this doesn't make it pleasant. It makes it real. It makes the relationship honest, if not dignified. Every meal is a negotiation. every fiber-rich choice a gamble, and every calorie-restricted effort potentially nullified. The warning is clear and unavoidable. Underestimating the power of your gut's methane makers is a recipe for frustration, discomfort, and humiliation. Chronic methane dominance, overactive fermentation, and slow intestinal transit have consequences beyond momentary gas or bloating. They subtly alter energy balance, interfere with predictable metabolism, and create persistent discomfort that can shape social behavior and psychological well-being. Ignoring the signals doesn't make them go away. It compounds the impact, leaving you fighting an invisible, cunning internal opponent. So yes, I learned to love my inner methane maker, but love here is a mixture of resignation, respect, and constant vigilance. It is understanding that my digestive system is partly autonomous, optimized for efficiency, and capable of undermining even the most disciplined efforts. I've learned to anticipate, negotiate, and sometimes laugh at the chaos it produces, recognizing that every bite I take feeds an invisible empire that prioritizes gas, calorie reclamation, and slow transit over my dignity. My gut whispers constantly, and I've learned to listen, not because it's polite, convenient, or socially acceptable, but because ignoring it only multiplies the shame, discomfort, and metabolic betrayal. My inner methane maker is relentless, ruthless, and astonishingly effective, and while I may never fully control it, I've come to accept that efficiency rarely checks for human intention, comfort, or vanity.